A rude awakening. The Eagles suffer a third consecutive defeat as the bottom side North Melbourne caused a major upset at Optus Stadium. It was the first time in 7 years the Kangaroos had beaten West Coast in Perth, with the visitors storming home in wet and wild conditions, beating 4 of the last 5 goals to deliver a massive blow to the Eagles' finals hopes. Welcome to Eagle Review, proudly supported by Stake. Trade over 4,000 US stocks with $0 brokerage. Download Stake from the App Store today. Tyson Beattie, we reform in the flesh, albeit under some pretty disappointing circumstances. A bit like E17's reunion back in 06. We were going about that well.
I'm thinking more Oasis, maybe a future reunion, Noel and Liam Gallagher. How would that go?
Throwing punches.
Probably.
Says a bit about our character if we're those two, I would have thought.
Look, it was a very disappointing result, but you have to give credit to North Melbourne. They were fantastic. They really played for each other. Their intensity and their pressure in the contest and the way they used the ball in really wet and difficult conditions, I thought was fantastic. They've been really impressive over the past month, so it's a huge credit to them. We're still in the 8th at the moment, but there's a lot in the mix just below us on the ladder.
It was ominous signs early, pre-game, I would have thought, because it was an upset, as the odds and bookmakers will tell you, but I guess it wasn't a shocking result, given the conditions playing into North Melbourne's hand, being a Melbourne team and having a bit of a scrap coming from 18th. But just the form of the last 2 teams. North Melbourne have been quality over the last month, being super competitive with these top 8 teams. And West Coast probably having the most disappointing stretch in the 2021 season, without doubt. So it wasn't a total shock, and the danger signs were there.
Yeah, and I mean, being at the game, you could tell that the conditions made for a really slippery deck. So you had to make decisions between either being precise with the ball or just trying to get it forward. And North did that really, really well. They were clean moving the ball forward. 17-17 inside 50s in the opening turn, but the Eagles pretty inaccurate inside 50, so 2-5 at quarter time, 3-10 at half time. Normally very efficient inside 50. Definitely the conditions played a part in that, but that left the door ajar for North Melbourne to come back, particularly in that second and then third term.
Well, they're the most accurate team in the competition statistically, West Coast. But how's this for a stat? So they rank last in the competition for forward half intercepts, West Coast. They average about 21 per game. They had this in the first half, so their pressure was really on. But they ended up having 1 goal 8 from those intercepts. So they were wasteful, and the Kangaroos really turned it round. They came to the party in the second half. They had full ball control, had more inside 50s, and basically they just grinded out. The start of that third quarter, it was a grind to see who was going to give up the first goal, and North Melbourne broke 10 minutes in. And then they basically took control of this contest. The Eagles' tackle efficiency was down on the night, particularly in that third quarter, and North Melbourne were really in control heading into the final term.
It was such a weird game though, wasn't it? I mean, 9 goals between the 2 teams in the first 3 quarters, then 9 goals between them in the last quarter alone.
Very free-flowing football it turned out to be.
Yeah, it begins with this Eagles onslaught, 4 on the trot. So Yo's clearance work playing a hand in a couple of them. Shuey, who was well rested during the game for a good stint on the ball, came on and played a lot more in that last quarter. He was really good. Allen, Ryan, Kennedy all finishing them off. So 3 goals from 14 shots to begin with, and then 4 goals on the trot. But there was another twist in the tail, Jeffrey Archer.
And I didn't see it coming, to be perfectly honest. So after those 4 straight, North Melbourne go on to have the next 6 inside 50s. They were peppering toward goal, and they just made the most of their chances. Jaden Stevenson, he had it 38 times, a career night, probably the 3 votes, and he nails this from 50 in the wet. It was impressive stuff. Big Todd Goldstein put the nail in the coffin though. Not only did he break the hit-out record in the AFL all-time, but he clunks this one at the top of the square. No fist through from the Eagles, and that was well and truly when North Melbourne had it sewn up. But this for a statistic, the Eagles had more marks inside forward 50 than the Roos. 1 more, but North just had them in more dangerous areas. Either West Coast had the directive to go wide, or they were forced wide from good defence from the Roos.
Yeah, North were really actually brave with their ball movement, considering the conditions as well. They played really well through the corridor. They played on. They went for short kicks, sometimes longer kicks if they found the option down the ground. It really played dividends for them. And let's have a listen to what Adam Simpson said after the game.
You know, there was periods there where we had dominance. We didn't make the most of it, and we're low on confidence. So, there was better signs this week than last week, although we played a side that, you know, at home we should beat, and we didn't. So we need to own that. I still think there's a bit more to give. You know, our best players probably aren't playing their best footy, and their talent hasn't gone. So we're going to keep working on that. We're not going to give players free rides, and we need to give some opportunities to our youth as well. But yeah, they're still good players. So effort was better tonight, work rate was better, but we still got exposed at stages as well. Well, we've got to be consistent. So we can't chop and change and We pivoted this week, did a few different things, and now we'll stick to it. So train hard, be honest, select the right team, and continue to grow, and hopefully it turns. I don't think I need to be critical just now. I think you guys will take care of that. So we've got to stick together. Yeah, I got their backs. We're part of the solution as well as being honest with them. So we're not going around thinking we're going well at all.
So silver lining, TB, if you can find one. No further injuries from the game. Jack Redden's missing about a month from his injury last week. Would have loved him out there in these conditions. Jermaine Jones around the same length of time. Thought Langdon came in and played a pretty good game for a small forward, had some impact. But this team is near full strength at this point in time, has been over the last couple of weeks, but they still had something like 16 or 17 changes to the team. Simo flagged it. It's certainly not something he wants to keep as a trend going forward, but it's interesting if you want to pull more selection levers after a result like that also.
Yeah, and plenty in the mix from the Waffle ranks as well, who went down in a close game to Swan Districts. Hopefully Jamie Cripps will be available for this week's game against the Crows. There may be some scrutiny at the MRO. He was charged with wrestling with Taron Thomas here. Both were charged, but maybe some scrutiny as well with a little bit of a punch as well.
Such an important player, TB. You don't want to miss him. Gut running, forward pressure, he brings it all.
Now time for the roast of rounds, thanks to Steak.
Let's do it. Andrew Gaff's going to kick things off. He's winning the Bunnings voucher this week for the best stepladder on the field. Taron Thomas got him in the wrong place at the wrong time, TB.
Now Cripper auditioning for the Italian soccer club, but this attempt looked a bit more like the English soccer club on penalties. Forza Italia, Thumper.
Like it.
Now the field club, for those that don't know, is this great section behind the benches here, corporate section, and well done to them for holding the ball in on this occasion and allowing the defence to set up.
Brilliant work from the members. I love to see it. Now, Liam Duggan's been in some good form, as you can see here with the Stake High Fire Pay Index. He's risen in price last 3 weeks, finding good form. His fellow defender, Josh Rotham, he had a career high 11 intercepting possessions in the back half. But I tell you what he doesn't have is a snagger. And how's this rare sighting from Josh Rotham? Has the ball inside 50. JK loves the celebration. Don't give it to him. He's had enough goals. I want to see Josh Rotham have a ping.
All right, a roast on the commentators, Thumper. Now, Hutto is one of the best in the business, of course.
Indeed.
But 0 for 2 here. Have a listen.
Goes for the massive bodies. That would suit Barris or Cole. Juggling Mark.
Now the winner, it's triple treat, Tyson time. There's 3 strikes and you are well and truly out. Here's the first one, getting in the background of the Zoom coaches press conference. Mate, it's a bit of me, out you get.
That's terrible.
What about you at training? You're fetching footies, you're copping sprays from the coaches. How about you just do your media job and get on with things? Now, the winner though, you at half-time maybe of last night's game. What are you doing here? You've got the beer goggles on. You're having a shot on goal. That's probably on point with your Perth footy career. What do you reckon?
It's a trifecta of humiliation, just what I need today.